Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel the day after the Derby della Mole, and what a derby it was, because Juventus was able to win 4-2 versus Torino. Mamma mia, I'm super happy of course with the 3 points, I'm super happy with the 4 goals that we scored with unexpected people on the score sheet. Anyway, a lot of things to debrief today, but there are a lot of things that I'm not happy about, absolutely not, and I have some pictures to show you what I am not happy about. Guys, it's the start of the video. I'm asking you kindly if you want to put a maximum of like, if you want to subscribe to the channel if you didn't yet, put the notification ring on, because lately there will be a few videos that will come up, so don't miss them. Don't miss them absolutely. So we start immediately with the big titles of Tuttosport that is going with E alla fine è sempre Juve, and at the end it is always Juve, because we know it. The derby, you are not playing it with your minds, you are not playing it logically, you are playing it with your heart, and at the end it's always the fino alla fine that it's making sure that we are winning the derbies that are really difficult to play. We know it. Yesterday an aggressive team of Juric that put Juventus in difficulty, but anyway at the end we won, and this is the thing that matter at the moment. Before entering the details about what was wrong and what we can't duplicate and replicate in the next game, starting with Roma on Sunday in their stadium. La Gazzetta dello Sport is going with Allegria Juve, happiness Juve, because yes, I am happy, and I'm sure you are happy about a lot of things that we will go really fast through them. The first one, of course, can't we forget the moment that Paul Pogba entered after so many days, after nearly 7 years of the last time that it was at Juve. Paul Pogba entering, mamma mia, it was full of emotion. I didn't enjoy to the fullest. Why? Because at that moment of the game it was 2-2, and the result is more important to see Pogba coming back on the field. But from the moment he entered, he changed the game. Him and Federico Chiesa, don't forget Chiesa, with his dynamism, with his boost, with his energy. He is a silent leader. A leader, Federico Chiesa, that entered the game, and he has that skill that not a lot of players has. The fact that due to the way he's playing, it's a technical leader. He's taking the team together with him. Fantastic, Federico Chiesa. But then the aura of Paul Pogba is just simply fantastic. The way he's moving on the field is fantastic. We will need some time to see a Paul Pogba at his best, at his max. We will not see him starting versus Roma, but it's already an immense pleasure to have our number 10 back. Also happy about Max Allegri's choice to put Paredes aside, to give the chance from the first minute of the game to Barrenechea. Barrenechea, first game in Serie A from the start in the Derby della Mole. It's something that he will never forget. We'll come back on the individual performance of Enzo in a few moments. Happy about the heart and the dance celebration of Cuadrado. He was looking for that goal this season. With what better opponent than Torino to score his name, or to put his name on the score sheet for the first time, 22-23. Fantastic Cuadrado with the goal. Performance was like this. Anyway, try to enjoy Cuadrado, because Cuadrado is the last season with Juventus in Bianconero, and probably his last goal versus Torino with the colors of Juventus. Happy about Danilo, the captain on the field, but probably also off the field. Happy that he was the one that equalized that goal, the game at the 2-2 just before entering the locker rooms. A real leader. The grinta of the captain with the number 6 is immense yesterday, Danilo. And then Kostic, 7th assist in Serie A. 7th assist, but not only, because he had 2 more with Juve, 1 still with the other team from Germany that he was playing with, Eintracht Frankfurt. So total 10, 9 with Juve. Incredible. A Kostic that a lot of people still are doubting. Is he a great player? Yes or no? He's a one-dimensional player. We know that. But a player that in that dimension is doing fantastically great. Yesterday, they took away one of his assists. Otherwise, he would have reached the double digit with Juve, because Bremer deflected it. But again, a beautiful game from Kostic, not only offensively, but also on a player that is really great and that I would love to see at Juve one day. We are speaking about Singo, 17 versus 17, and happy about the monster performance of Niccolò Fagioli. Mamma mia. Yesterday, his best game of the season. I said it immediately yesterday, without the words of Max Allegri, without his words or without knowing them. I said Niccolò Fagioli was fantastic. Man of the match yesterday. He started a bit shaky, but after a few minutes immediately took the leadership of that midfield creativity, but also a player that is also giving some support, being the link between the midfield and our strikers or our offensive players. Nicola Fagioli was fantastic. And after the game he said it, is it my best game of the season according to Allegri? I always agree with him. The relationship with Allegri, well, I am happy. He always gives me advices in training, even on how to feel better on the field. I feel improved in terms of intensity on the pitch. And it is a big improvement from Fagioli. We finish with the good news before going towards what we have to do better and also the horrible things that we saw yesterday. Well, yesterday 500 appearances in total for Alexandro and Szczesny with the Bianconeri colors. We have 300 for Alexandro, his shirt will enter the J Museum, and 200 for Szczesny. Szczesny, that was criticized yesterday. We prefer Perin, this and this and this. I watched the game again. I have to say that on the 2 goals, it's quite difficult for him to save them. He did a fantastic save at the 40th minute. Other than that, difficult. Could he maybe save one of them? Maybe yes, but I think that we were a bit harsh yesterday. I was also a bit harsh on Szczesny yesterday. Anyway, the last good news was the remontada, the double remontada in the Derby de Torino. But again, what I didn't like was the behavior of Juventus, especially in the beginning of the game. You know that the team of Juric are aggressive. You know that you are playing in your home. You know that they will be turbocharged. What are you doing? You are giving them the possession. 58% for Torino. At the end of the first half, it was even more. It was over the 60%, if I'm not wrong, 62. Something that you can't do. Juventus was losing in the first half all their duels. Luckily, in the second half, we did much better there, but not enough to take the recuperation of the possession. And something that you can't do. It can happen 1 time, 2 times, but if you decide by your own to give that first half to Torino, then of course you are punished. Also, our pass accuracy, again, 68% in opposition half, absolutely not at standard of Juve. Especially because you are giving the ball to Torino and you are letting them do whatever they want in our half. 80% for them. In total, 80% for us, 87% pass accuracy for Torino. Things that we need to improve. And how many times did we say it? How many times did we say it? Why? Look at the block, the average block of both teams. Juventus super low. We are playing that 3-5-1-1, but look how low Vlahovic is when he's touching the ball. A bit higher Fagioli, we already said it, that played extraordinary. A ghost yesterday, Di Maria. We can understand it, some magic touches of Di Maria, but not enough after the fantastic performance of Naut. But all the players super low, and when you see the ones of Torino, well, they are easily relaxed in our field. Something that is absolutely not okay. Also, the fact that they were able to enter so many times in our box and take attempts. 7 times they had attempts from inside our box. Juventus had more, and that's great. Offensively in the second half we did much better, but this is not acceptable, because if you are giving all these chances, of course you are taking 2, and not always you are able to do that remontada like yesterday. I was absolutely not pleased with the defensive performance of Bremer in the first half. Look at that, the first goal, we are not talking about it, but look, he's man marking Caramo. After a few seconds he's going up, following the ball, leaving his man alone, and that's where we concede that first goal immediately. On the second goal, it's also Bremer here, because look at the defense. Juventus super low again with a 5-man defense, not 3. We were with 5, with Quadrado on the right side on Caramo, with Kostic on the left side. What is happening? That we have a perfectly aligned defense with only Sanabria on top. We are giving them the easiness, being relaxed to do whatever they want. Fantastic cross from Linetti, and then you see Sanabria that is taking the time on Bremer, anticipating him, and this is absolutely not great from our defense and from Bremer. Bremer luckily did then, after the 2 goals, a beautiful performance, not only because he scored and he celebrated as crazy against his ex-team. Kudos to him, I love to see it. But yesterday, total duels 8, and he won all of them. He won also all his aerial duels. Beautiful performance in a way from Bremer, except of these 2 big mistakes that you can't accept at all. Also Barrenechea, because we said that we wanted to come back on the performance of the number 45 of Juve, starting his very first game in Serie A in a Derby della Mole. Well, yesterday he was beautiful to see. Barrenechea, 9 duels, 7-1, but look at the tackles, 5 tackles he did. Defensively, a fantastic performance. He was everywhere. Look at the heat map of Enzo Barrenechea. If you are expecting from Enzo Barrenechea to be the creative link or the regista that is offensive, defensive thinking immediately to go up and down. You will not see that too much. But yesterday he did a beautiful defensive performance, winning his tackles, winning his duels, recuperating a lot of balls there in the middle of the field. Look at the heat map. He was everywhere to give some support. Beautiful, beautiful performance. A bit shy when he had the ball into his feet, because there he was looking always for the easy solution, something that he needs to progress. But of course, I understand that when it's your first game in a Derby della Mole, taking risk, it's a bit a stretch. Anyway, what I didn't like neither was Dusan Vlahovic's performance. In total, he improved his one-on-one duels when he was back into the goal, because he tried to protect the ball a bit better, and that's something that he was improving. On the other hand, he has 4 attempts, only 1 on target, and this one, the one-on-one versus the goalkeeper Milinkovic-Savic, is something that needs to go into the goal. You can't miss that one, especially after all the criticism from a part of the tifosi that are questioning the value of Vlahovic. These ones are things that need to go in goal, especially because at that moment of the game, it's still a 2-2. What was wrong? Well, I told you, the fact that Juventus played super low in the first half. You can clearly see it in the heat map of Kostic and Cuadrado. Cuadrado much lower because he had 2 players, Caramo and Rodriguez, that were pushing high. Cuadrado was not able to go up. Kostic instead one-on-one there in that big heat map in green, fluo green with Singo, but he was able to go up to do these crosses. Again, a beautiful performance. Kostic and Fagioli, man of the match if we can speak about it. The changes at the 65th minute were beautiful from a Max Allegri that is changing a lot of players. And look at the position of Paul Pogba, Federico Chiesa, but also De Sciglio. De Sciglio that went up more higher than Cuadrado. Really strange, but this is how Max Allegri changed the game. Not only with the players, but also with the mentality. It is to go up and try to win that Derby della Mole. And that's what we did, and I was super happy with the changes. Guys, we are in the end of the video. Need to speak about Roma. Roma that lost yesterday versus Cremonese, the first ever win in Serie A this season of Cremonese. It was 26 years ago that Cremonese won a game in Serie A. They did it versus Roma, red card versus Mourinho, that already started with controversy, saying that the 4th referee is from the city of Torino, and that's why he received a red card. Anyway, total disaster. Max a muso duro. Max not with a short snout, but a strong, powerful snout. Victory of yesterday. That's the title of Corriere dello Sport. Guys, Mourinho will always be controversy. I'm happy that he will not be able to enter the stadium. He will watch the game from the bus. Anyway, it is what it is. We have to go there. We have to win with that grinta of the double Brazilian center backs, Bremer and Danilo. I hope you enjoyed the game of yesterday. As a neutral fan, it was really entertaining. Me as a Juve fan, happy with the result, happy with a lot of things that we saw, but there are a lot of improvements still to do for a Juventus that can't give the ball too much to the opponents and missing a lot of accurate passes. This is something we have to improve now, immediately, otherwise it will be difficult to continue to win. Anyway, beautiful February with a lot of wins, with only 1 draw versus Nantes. Now we are starting a new month, the month of March, where, attenzione, big games are awaiting for us, especially the Europa League, but also continuing that climbing of Serie A with or without the minus 15 points. I finished to tell you that yesterday Juventus did officially appeal against the minus 15 points. We will give you news when we have some news. Grazie, forza, Juve.